guys, my name's Jeff. I wanted to do a quick introduction to the channel, kind of give a little bit of background as to what prompted me to build this thing. Basically, this is what it was. 3 years ago, I experienced a series of events that kind of changed my perspective, hopefully for the better. I guess top of the list was I fell and broke my leg. It wasn't just a normal break, I broke the hell out of it. Required surgery to repair. Took about 2.5 years for me to walk again. It's pretty traumatic. And to cap it off, my dog died, so it was not a good year for me. The place that I lived, I was in Southern California, and I remember one of the things that just, man, it used to gnaw on me is that I'd watch the runners back and forth in front of my house and just wish that I could get out. Well, I can walk again now. I can do things. A little terrified of ladders. I decided I was going to buy a sliding camper. I want to travel. Until I looked at the price of campers. Campers for a pickup truck my size, decent size, were anywhere from $35,000 to $55,000. Okay, that's just lunacy. I don't know why anybody would pay that much for a camper. So I'm going to call this episode 1 of the camper build. I want to show you how I started this process, and a little bit of the, I guess, thoughts behind it. Okay, so I'm getting ready to start taking measurements. Hopefully the sound isn't too annoying in the background. Gotta cut grass too. But anyway, as you can see, I got the truck behind me. Follow along, I guess, and I'll show you some of the initial measurements that I took. So I guess this would probably be a good time to break out a pencil and paper. I have pencil and paper in the truck here. Write them down, but I'll give you an idea to show you the measurements that are important, at least. Okay, so obviously I've moved in the garage. It's not necessary to have a garage to do this. You could do this in your driveway, and I'm going to show you how in just a few minutes. Fortunately, I have a garage, or I have the space to do this in. I want to say pardon the mess, but I don't really. What I have here, I already know that my bed inside dimensions are 62 3/4 inches. The bed, the rails on the bed are 4 inches wide at the widest point. So you add another 8 inches here. The sides, the truck cap that I'm building is actually going to protrude past the sides of the rails. I don't know if I'm going to need to support anything or not. So what I did was I just gave myself like an extra foot on either side. So Okay, so I've shown you how I've done the bed rails, at least the shape of the bed rails. I haven't done fastening or tying them together yet. At some point in the next few minutes you'll probably see that. So what I'm getting ready to do, or what I'm working on now, is the patterns for the ribs. There's a structural component to this, in that the top of the cap, I want it to be capable of supporting several hundred pounds. To give you an idea, the air conditioner weighs 125 pounds. I might have mentioned that before. I'm a big guy. I weigh about 265, 270 pounds. I figure if there's two of me up there, you get 500 plus. So air conditioner and two of us is 600 pounds, plus lawn chairs, cooler, umbrella. I want it to be able to hold some weight. Also, I guess while I'm at it, hopefully I'm going to try and figure out how to do it, but I'm going to record my screen and attach it to this so I can show you how I designed the ribs. As I said before, I have SolidWorks. I'm looking at the tutorials, trying to learn how to use it. In the meantime, I'm using Corel just because I've used it for 30 years and it's easy for me to walk my way around in it. Don't know if this will show up in the video or not, but if you look at the lines, so these lines right here, these are the lines for the shape of the sides. I take those, mocked them up in Corel over a photograph and combined it with the measurements that I've already taken. I come up with an approximation of what it is that I wanted to pull off. Okay, so I showed you the piece of paper that defines the shape. I don't know if you can catch all that. So there's my shape, roughly. Made some on-the-fly adjustment. For example, if you look down here, this is the inside of the bed rail. I wanted it to cant in just a little bit to help, kind of like using the pyramid shape, help support some of the weight. The outside, although it will help support some of the weight, is really more to define the shape. And let's see, we can go from here. Oh, by the way, this material is called ram board. You can buy this at Home Depot, Lowe's. See a roll of it over there. It's just a super thick cardboard. They usually use it when you're working in the house. You put that on the floor and keep you from scuffing up your floor or anything. And but I have found that it's great for making patterns. Once I'm happy with it, I'll flip it over. I have both sides, and debating whether I really want to show you this yet or not. I do have a sketch of the camper. I'll debate. Nope, that's not it. Just to give you an idea. Kind of want to wait till I'm done, so if I show you this, it will be the only time I show you before it's finished, but basically that's the idea. So maybe so you can see window. This is the part that goes over the cab. This is little area in it. Okay, so this is basically the shape of this thing. Okay, so that was really quick. I think maybe in real time it took probably about 10 minutes. The last thing you want to do when you're sanding these things off is that if you notice, your foam sander's got a sponge under it and it tends to round the edges, and you want the edges to be as square as possible. So what I'm doing is took a piece of wood. I actually have a rubber block sander around here somewhere, but until I clean this mess up, we won't know where it's at. Okay, that's about it on that. I guess it's worth mentioning that I want them squared off, but nothing has to be 1000% perfect. 999% perfect is pretty good. The reason why is that on the outside of this rib, there's going to be, the siding is going to be tacked to it, so obviously that's going to round out a lot of the imperfections, things like that. So you don't need to spend all day doing it, just get it kind of squared off so that you know that it's good. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through the middle. I'm gonna cut out sections inside here. And the reason for that is just to reduce the weight on the vehicle. The truck is rated for 3/4 tons, 1,700 some odd pounds. But my goal to make it easier on the truck, make it easier on me, is to keep the weight down. Hopefully the finished weight will end up being somewhere around half of that. Okay, so structurally, how thick do each one of these pieces need to be? Well, tell you what my thinking is on it. So like I say, all you engineers, you comment below down there, tell me if I'm wrong. The weight that's going to be on top of the vehicle is not going to be on any one rib. So that total weight is going to be spread across all the ribs. Now, I used to own a mobile home, and I took the roof off of it and redid all, put a metal roof on it. But I was surprised that when I tore the roofing out and I got to the truss were literally made out of 3/4 inch plywood. They were 3/4 inch plywood, and the gussets were just pieces of paneling stapled, not even screwed. They were stapled, not even glued. They were stapled to the 3/4 inch plywood. Back to work.